As some of you know, we're saluting Abraham Lincoln's 200th birthday this week. And I'm very happy to remind everybody that at the end of this week, on the 14th day of February, our mayor will have a birthday. He is not as old as Abe Lincoln, 200 years old, but he's 1/3 that. That's true. Longevity, how old is he? 100, isn't that beautiful? God is good. Many of us wonder what the R in Michael R stands for. That's actually your mom's maiden name. Rubens? Charlotte? Well, I did research. That's why they made me. With no further ado, I want to introduce our mayor, the person that really doesn't need the introduction, Michael R. Bloomberg.
Well, thank you. And I want to first welcome two of my oldest friends, Marty and Joan Ernheim, who are here, who have kept sending me everything that London has ever written. Most of which I actually read, because he calls them and says, "What did you think?" Anyways, I just hope everybody's enjoying Sunday. I did what most Jewish boys do on Sunday. I went to church this morning. My mother always wanted me to be more religious. I don't think she quite counted on mosques on Friday, temples on Saturday, and churches on Sunday. But that is part of the job of the mayor, and particularly now because my solution to our budget deficit is nonstop prayer. Hey, you never know, it might work. I was born in St. Elizabeth's Hospital in Brighton, Massachusetts on February 14th, 1942. That is correct. Your research is very good. I think St. Elizabeth's Hospital is still there, I'm not sure. Is it still there? Is it? I think so. And then I lived for 4 years in Brookline and then moved to Medford. And my mother still lives, she's 100, she still lives in the house that I grew up in. Anyways, these are going to be tough times, and I wanted to personally congratulate Frank Padovan on his election. Congratulations on the well-deserved victory. I do think that it is appropriate that we celebrate Frank's victory on the same day that we celebrate Lincoln's birthday. Lincoln was born 200 years ago, Thursday, February 12th, in 1809, which I think was the first year that Frank began serving in the Senate. Frank is a legend in his district because he knows everyone and because he knows how to stretch his hand across the aisle. And is Barbara Clark coming? She is somebody else that is able to do that. And that's what government is all about. Having your own views and then working in a nonpartisan way to come up with a consensus. Democracy is about building consensus, and Frank Padovan knows how to do that. I have worked with Frank, I've marched with Frank, I've had meals with Frank. Frank Padovan, if he ever needs a reference with God, I will tell you, this is a classy guy, and he really does work hard for the city. And we are going to need it. We're going to need everybody in Washington and in Albany and in City Hall. We are going to go through some very tough times. I think that's something everybody understands, but I don't think people really get it right down to understanding what the implications are when you drive down a street and look at the number of empty stores. The numbers of the number of people who are getting laid off, they're just numbers. It's so big, however, that everybody now knows somebody, I think, that has been laid off. Everybody knows somebody that's in a business that's in trouble. It's becoming very real in this country, and we're going to all have to pull together to make sure that we keep things going. Now, I can't deal at the federal level, I can have some say a little bit at the state level. My job is to work at the city level, and I can just tell you what we're going to do in this city. The first thing is we are not going to go back the way we did in the 70s. We've just come too far in the last 7 years. Crime is now down 30% over the last 7 years. The graduation rates of our students in our public school systems are up by 20%. We are building affordable housing at record levels, and we've opened more than 300 acres of new parkland. Today we're a different city than we were a few years ago, and it was certainly a very different city than we were back in the 1970s. Today I think everybody understands we have to live together and work together, and we are going to get through this. It is not going to be easy. We have to realize that we have to help those who aren't as